Alrighty, folks, I'm Adam Richmond from Surviving Rocklahoma, Rocklahoma's official podcast, and I am joined by somebody that a lot of you know. You've seen him around, and now you're going to hear him right here in our backyard in just a few days. Danny Koker, thank you so much for joining me.
Adam, my man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. How are you?
I am excellent, my friend. I'm so jazzed because, I'm familiar with you as a person, out there. You're affiliated on our television sets. I'm a history nut. I'm a nerd, and I love collectibles. And then never been much of a gearhead, but
Yeah.
you're always there, and you just get me interested in it. So, Danny, most of us know you from the likes of Pawn Stars and
Yep.
Counting Cars. But
Yep.
you've also you got a musical project of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam, I'm glad you brought that up. There's over the years, everybody does know me as the motorcycle guy, the car guy, the hot rod guy, all that kind of stuff. But the thing about me that a lot of people don't know is the very first thing in my life was music. So I grew up in music, and then motorcycles came along and cars came along. And the bikes and the cars were a huge hobby for me, and that hobby kept growing, and it turned into a business, and that business is Counts Customs, and it's flourished as a premier motorcycle and hot rod and muscle car and classic car shop, and that's great. But what they don't know is the first thing in my life was music. My father was a musician. He brought me up in music. As a young man, I grew up singing. I was a gospel music singer. I grew up singing Southern gospel music. I grew up singing Black gospel music. I grew up in the Cleveland and Detroit area. Those are the two areas that I grew up in. And I literally traveled the world singing gospel music with a gospel music group. Back with the Reverend Rex Humbard, who was Elvis's minister back in the day, and all that kind of stuff. That's where I grew up. I grew up doing it. So fast forward years later, now, here I am busy with bikes and busy with cars and this and that, but music is still a huge part of my life. Now, people have seen the TV show, which has been on for a little over 10 years now, but between 12 and 13 years ago now, I hooked up with a group of guys here in Vegas, because I own a rock and roll club here in Vegas. I own a place called Counts Vent, and it's an old school, real deal rock and roll club like you would have found back in the day. And through the club, I connected with a bunch of guys that are, like my age group, and grew up loving a lot of the same music. I mean, I grew up singing gospel, but of course, I got rock and roll in my soul. And so it just being with these guys, and then they found out that I used to sing, so they got me up on stage on jam night. And let's see, 5 out of 6 of us that are still together right now accidentally ended up on the same stage at the same time in a jam night, and it felt great. And so after the show, we all sat down together out on the patio at Vent, and we started talking about this. And then we kind of got together on our own time, started doing some rehearsing stuff for more jam nights. Next thing you know, this little jam band started opening up for other bands. Next thing you know, we start headlining for stuff here locally in Vegas. And then a gentleman by the name of Mike Varney, God bless him, Shrapnel Records, he happened to catch us one night and said, there's something here. And he has helped us put this band properly together now. He signed Shrapnel Records, and Mike Varney signed us. We've done 2 original records. We're working on our 3rd one right now. And the band is a little over 12 years old. We travel all over the nation and Mexico and Canada, and we're looking at other places as well. And we've been so blessed to get out and rock. So while people know me as that car guy and that bike guy, I'm actually a music guy, which was the first thing. And so I'm blessed now. Me and my boys, we get together and rock out as often as we can. We just got back from Flint, Michigan, just played Back to the Bricks up there. Badfinger was playing, Atlanta Rhythm Section was playing, and Count 77, my band was playing. So we tore it up there. We did the M3 Festival. We just got back from Texas as well. We had a couple of big gigs out in Texas. We're on our way to Minnesota. We leave tomorrow for Minnesota. We'll be up there for some gigs, and then we're on our way to Rocklahoma, brother. So that's kind of a backstory of the fact that it's a legitimate thing. It's not that, oh, that guy's got a TV show, so now he thinks he's going to do some music. No, I would not fake the funk like that. If y'all know me, I do my best to keep it real at all times, and so the music is very real.
That is
answer to a short question.
And it's always the gospel singers, man. It's like you never know which direction, because once they get that upward movement, thanks to whoever you would like to credit that to, they pick a genre and boom, they just explode. And hopefully that's what I mean. You've already seen success, but one day we're going to be seeing you go on those big awards stages and all of that stuff. And so
don't threaten me with a good time, Adam. Let's go.
All of us in Pryor, Oklahoma, here Labor Day weekend, we're just going to be, I saw them.
I love it.
Now, like I was saying earlier, I have my fanboy moments, and I was sharing my exciting news with some fans, some friends and fans of yours. I was told to ask about Vampire Elvis. What is this? Because you said Elvis earlier. What is this?
Oh my Lord. I have lived, oh my gosh, Adam, you're gonna crack up. I have lived 14 different lives, man. And oh my Lord. From 1989 to 2000, I did a late night horror show here in Las Vegas on Channel 33, the Warner Brothers affiliate here in Vegas. It ran a little over 10 years. I hosted horror films late night as a vampire that loves Elvis. And the character's name was Count Cool Rider for CC Rider and Elvis's theme song. And it was a straight up vampire, but he couldn't help the fact that he loved Elvis and he was a vampire living in Vegas. And so I'm hosting horror films. I got on crazy guests, music guests, entertainers, this and that on my set. It was like a castle set and coffins and all this kind of stuff. But the underlying tone was always a love for Elvis and music. So I always, had that weaved in as well. So for a little over 10 years in Vegas, man, I was a vampire. So that's where the Count came from. So everybody here in town knew me as the Count. Now, the show only ran in Vegas, but people were pirating it. They were recording it and sending it in all over the country. But my hobby behind the scenes was the motorcycles and the cars. Well, that hobby was growing. During that period of time, it actually turned into a legitimate shop. Had to come up for a name for the shop. Well, I'm thinking it's just a local shop. So everybody here in town knows me as the Count. So I called it Count's Customs. Well, the darn thing gets an international television show. And now the whole world knows you as the Count. So it's like the explanation as to why is it Count's Customs? Why are you called the Count? It comes from this crazy Elvis loving vampire, Count Cool Rider here in Vegas from 89 to 2000. It's crazy. I know.
I tell you, let me see. I have to give credit. I can't take credit for that question, but you guys just got me an award somewhere. Heather, thank you for submitting that question.
Thank you, Heather.
For my friend Danny.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll tell you a funny story, man. This was some years back. I was fortunate enough to go on David Letterman when, of course, when he was hosting the show. So I was on Letterman and we were talking about cars and stuff. And next thing you know, he goes, I got a clip. I thought it was something from Counting Cars. He goes, I got a clip I want to show you. Boom. He plays a clip of the old vampire show. And I swear to you, I about died laughing right there. So it's out there. People can find it. The show was called Saturday Fright at the Movies with your host, Count Cool Rider. All right, here in Vegas. That was me.
That is true. Now, I'll tell you what, if you were real, I'm going to blow your mind here. So you had that connection on David Letterman, right? I didn't never know the guy. I love the guy growing up. I am in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. For years and years, we were the home box office of the late night show with David Letterman. Had a big mural and everything.
I love it.
So
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
weird.
dude. Dave's a cool guy, and he's a big car guy. So that just that's why I got on his show. He was a fan. He's a fan of counting cars, and so he invited me on a show, and he's just an absolute blast. And he's huge in NASCAR. He's highly involved in racing and things like that. Cool kid.
Really? I
Yeah, but
never would have guessed.
I just
Okay.
made a hard
So
left turn on it. But yeah, go ahead.
we are going to link up at Rocklahoma. I tell you, we're going to
Oh
nerd out.
yeah,
And now that I know you have this passion for B movies and stuff, I've got a friend
yeah.
that's
Oh
also
yeah.
going to be playing on Doug's stage, and he is a
Okay.
nut for these things. You guys are going to hit it off.
Oh, I
All
love it.
righty.
Well, I grew up watching horror movies. I grew up in the Cleveland area and the Detroit area.
Yeah.
And we had great horror hosts out of those two, major cities. As a kid growing up. So the B horror films and the campy, corny late night hosts and stuff. Oh my gosh, I love all that stuff. I still watch Sven Gulli, who's syndicated now on I think MeTV or something. I don't know. I still watch him on the weekend. So yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I
So
love it.
we're going to have a vampire Elvis chant in the crowd when Count 77 is playing, just FYI. Um,
Absolutely.
Hashtag if you know, you know. Now we got to talk about
Right,
your
right.
music, man. That's what the
Yes.
nature of the beast is. And so
Yep.
for our folks who may know you from your more publicized persona, introduce us a little
Sure.
bit to your band.
Absolutely. It's called Counts 77. And the 77 is to an era that myself and all of the boys in my band absolutely love, and that's hard rock of the 70s. And when you think about some of the greatest hard rock of the 70s, you think about, I mean, you look at that year, 1977, and you think about the giant hard rock hits. I mean, all throughout the late 60s and all throughout the 70s, there's amazing music, but there's something magic about that year, 77, that so many amazing things happen. So the name of the band being Count 77 is to reflect an era that we love so much. So the band, when you come see a Count 77 show, here's what you're going to get. Now, see at Rocklahoma, we got to do an abbreviated version. Okay, so we got to cut it down because we're sharing the stage with everybody. But like if you come and see us, wherever, like say for instance, we went on our way to Minnesota. We do it 70s style, man. Our show is minimum 90. We're known to play 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, just like the old 70s hard rock shows were how they went on for a long time. You come to a Count 77 show, we're going to give you brand new original Count 77 music because we've got 2 original records out, working on a third. That music sounds like it could have come out of the 70s with a very hard rock vibe. And then along the way, we hit you with some of your big, giant hard rock 70s covers that you know and love, done our way, which is a little more heavy-handed, a little more harder, a little more in your face. But the whole premise of Count 77 is taking 70s hard rock vibe, blending it all together with new and old, and just really coming out there to melt your face. It's my drummer's insane, Sean McKee. He is an absolute animal. I got Tommy Paris from Brittany Fox. Tommy Paris, he's organ, keyboards, vocals. I'm lead singer, but like I said, I've been singing since I was a kid. I've got Barry Barnes on bass. He's an absolute beast. And then I've got two wicked guitars. You got John Zito on guitar. You got Stoney Curtis on guitar. So you've got that. It's almost a very Thin Lizzy vibe, but a separated lead singer added to it type of a thing. But it's very, very heavy-handed hard rock 70s. You're going to dig it. You're going to dig it. I promise you're going to dig it.
It's an experience, man. Oh my gosh. I love those
Nobody
kinds
has
of
more
rock
fun than us on stage too. I'm telling you, when we're on stage playing, I mean, I'm getting excited right now because I dig it. So when the 6 of us are on stage together playing, nobody's having more fun than us, and that spills out into the crowd, and they're having a ball. So I promise you're going to enjoy yourself.
And then the chants began. Vampire Elvis. Vampire Elvis.
I'm in.
My
Oh
man.
my gosh.
So I always have to ask somebody, nobody can ever pick just one. Top three influence of that 70s era of yours. Who's just people
Oh
you
my
just
Lord. Well, okay.
you're thinking.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I'll go for the obvious ones first. I'm a huge Zeppelin fan. Uh, uh, this is not 70s. It's a little older. I'm a huge Doors
That
fan.
works. That works.
I'm there as well. I love the Eagles. I love man. Give me some Grand Funk. Give me some Thin Lizzy. Give me some Kiss. Give
Ooh.
me um, oh my Lord! But see, then I'm gonna trip you out. I'm gonna wander over. I'm gonna ask for some Marvin Gaye or some Curtis Mayfield, because my Detroit starts falling out on the floor every once in a while, and I start loving all that. But the whole '70s music and the whole '70s era, it just drives me crazy, man. Give me some Black Sabbath.
And you're just eclectic AF,
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
everywhere. I love that,
absolutely,
and
absolutely. But it's the
this
'70s.
is why I
But see,
like
that's
to, yeah.
also that's in my soul in almost every. When you come to Counts Customs and you look at how I like to stylize cars or motorcycles and everything, they all have a huge '70s influence. So it's just kind of me. I'm stuck in the '70s.
Oh my gosh. Man, I feel like we could nerd
Oh, big
out on
time,
this for hours.
big
Unfortunately,
time.
Zoom likes to cut me off, and I
I'm
do
with
not
you.
want to lose that. Dude,
All
I
good.
appreciate you joining me. And man, we covered so much territory. Man, we're marathon runners. Um, so I tell you what,
Absolutely.
so we are going to be seeing
Yeah.
you on the DEB stage inside the Roadhouse
Yep.
area. Uh, I tell you what, I'm just going to give you the stage. You talk to the audience, my friend, and just let us know what. Say hi.
Man, absolutely. I appreciate Adam. First off, thanks for having me on, and to everybody out there watching, listening, paying attention to what we're talking about here. I truly appreciate the fact that people enjoy what I've been doing for the years with the cars and the bikes and the Counting Cars TV show. It means a lot. And for those of you out there that do know me, you know that I've been doing music for a long time, and some of you are familiar with the music. I really appreciate that. But I guarantee you this. If you like what I'm doing with cars, if you like what I'm doing with bikes, if you like what I've been doing on that TV show for all these years, I'm not about to screw it up now with this band. Come on out. I will not disappoint you. The band is insane, and I will not disappoint you. You are going to have a great time. So we're Thursday night, right? Yeah, we're Thursday night. We're kicking everything off. Come on out and enjoy. I promise you all, it's going to be a good time. I always tell people from the stage during the time that we're playing, it's 1977. Okay, that's what year it is right now. So everybody, put your mind back in 1977, and we're going to have a party.
There you go, guys. So you can get ready however you will. I know I will. And then we're going to go in with a different mindset. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're going to be pre-partying for Labor Day weekend this year, Rocklahoma 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Koker of Counts 77. We're going to be there Thursday on the DEB stage. Thank you guys so much. Once again, I'm Adam Richmond. This is
Yeah.
Surviving Rocklahoma.